that's life. That's what all the people say. You're riding high in April, shot down in May. But I know I'm gonna change that tune when I'm back on top in June. I said that's life.
All right, so we got our first international guest on. We were saying on the last episode that we wanted to do an international theme to get perspective from people who do what we do all over the world, because I'm sure that there's different things that are priorities for different cultures as far as how they want their audio system done, achieved, executed. And I feel like you're a great person to start with because I've been following you for quite some time. You work in some amazing markets. I believe you do some work in Dubai, which I'm sure you got stories on days for that. And are you based out of the Netherlands?
Yeah, so basically I started my own company in 2006 in the Netherlands. And then from 2012 I got jobs from clients in Dubai. And then from 2014 I started to work there as well. So I opened up a shop there, and now I'm just traveling back and forth a lot to do all the jobs.
Do you have a team of people? Do you have people in both places? Do you have a helpers?
Yes. So I used to have a team of 7 people when I was working just in the Netherlands. So when we started doing the jobs in Dubai as well, we always flew with 3 to 4 guys back and forth. But in the end, it's like having a lot of stuff. It's a lot of drama, and things went wrong and all the bullshit. I mean, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about. So then I stopped everything, and I just worked with a very close group of guys, which I just hire for each job. So if I need somebody somewhere, I can just ask them if they want to come with me, and they just get paid for that job, which is better. It's like it still gives some headache from time to time, but not as much as it used to be.
So you said you got started with your own shop. What was the pre-emphasis to that? Like, how did you get into audio? What was that special thing that was like, this really interests me? What was it?
Yeah, so basically I was always interested in sound, anything which has to do with sound. And of course I had a love of cars. So let me think, in about 1998, I started working in a small shop, which was selling like everything, like alarm systems, sat-nav, cruise
And this
control.
was in Netherlands?
Yes.
Okay.
So I started working there, and then I was always very interested in doing like crazier stuff, for that time. And some of the clients were really interested, in doing something nicer. But to be honest, the owner of that shop, he was not interested in doing that at all. He was just interested in doing fast stuff, alarms in and out, and the simple things. So then I was like, no, I want to do something nicer, and that's eventually how I started to doing my own company in 2006. But honestly speaking, at that time I was like, I knew things about car audio and everything, but I had no experience in doing any business, no marketing experience, nothing. So I thought it was super easy, just open up a shop and that's it, people would come. And then I was like, okay, shit, I need to get clients, So then you had to be very creative in doing some marketing, getting jobs from some car dealers, and trying to get nice jobs, if you know what I mean. So then it became like nicer and nicer, and the cars, the cars I was working on were like just the normal average cars, doing the normal stuff. And sometimes the cars got a little bit nicer or a little bit crazier. And then I was like, I think there could be a big market in the supercar scene, because
Mm-hmm.
I can completely understand that not all the supercar owners are very keen on bringing the car somewhere.
Right.
The guys are dismantling the car; they don't know how to put it back and everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
So then I was like, I think I should focus on that. And in the same time, I also had some very, like, bad experiences with installing like sat nav systems, which would break down just one day after warranty and stuff. So then you had to, please the client, but you already knew that you had to pay it from your own pocket, because
Mm-hmm.
the supplier was like, no, it's already past the warranty time.
Mm-hmm.
So then I was so done with all these things. I was like, no, let me just focus on sound systems, just audio,
Mm-hmm.
because that's really where my passion is. And yeah, I think that was the at that point for me, that was the perfect thing to do, because I was able to do something completely else.
Mm-hmm.
And also sorry, but it was also in a different market, because, like, if you were doing like the normal stuff like alarm systems and stuff, people would shop and people would go for the cheapest guy, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And with sound systems it's completely different, because you cannot really compare the things, between A and B.
Mm-hmm.
So we were able to charge a bit higher, but to make sure everything would be done perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember like what the first expensive car you worked on was?
Yeah, I mean, the first exotic cars I was working on was like Aston Martin DB9. I was working for one guy who had a collection of Aston Martins. At that time, he had 7 or 8, and then he wanted me to do three of those just to make them sound better. And, like, I mean, for back then, it was like something amazing,
Mm-hmm.
like
Mm-hmm.
crazy. Yeah, it still is. Don't
And
get me wrong, but
Yeah.
you
Yeah. Yeah.
know, at, at that time I was working on like BMWs, Volkswagen Golf, all these cars. So to work on a car which would cost like 10 times more than all the other cars I've been working on, yeah, that was something big.
Do you remember the first big audio system that you did that you considered like, okay, this is way bigger than typical?
Yeah, I've done a few. I've done one. That was very long time ago. I think it was in about 2008. I
Mm-hmm.
was able to work on a Toyota Land Cruiser from one of
Mm-hmm.
my clients, who was really like, okay, I don't really care how much it costs. I just want to have something crazy. That was quite big for that time.
So
Like,
like that. So that vehicle, what's the equipment that you put in that at that time period?
at that time, we eventually, what did we use? MTX audio, Thunder, what was it? 9500 subwoofers,
Mm-hmm.
and Thunder amps, and we built custom door panels, front and rear, with double 6.5 inches. We made a custom ceiling with two 15-inch screens in them, custom trunk. It was, for that time, it was like crazy.
Yeah.
the good
It
old
had,
days.
yeah, the old days. I mean, if I look back, what did we install? We installed a Kenwood 2-din. Um, we did a Rockford 360.
Good
Mm,
old Rockford 360.
really?
Old Rockford 360.
Yeah.
And honestly, at that time, I had no clue how to adjust the sound processor or something. I had no clue what the hell I was doing
Yeah.
at all. But
I don't
yeah,
think many of
that
us
that
did.
definitely, yes, definitely. But that
You always got
that
to take the first step.
definitely, yeah. But that's basically how it started. Doing like the craziest systems, and to figure out how to make it sound better in terms of installation and in terms of tuning. Um, I mean, honestly, I messed up so many things.
That's how you learn. Yeah, you got to learn by failing.
Definitely,
Yeah.
yeah, yeah.
I think
Absolutely.
my first big build at that time, probably around the same period, like 2007, my first, I would say, higher end install that's closest to what I do now was a 911 Turbo S, red interior, brand new.
Ooh.
And we did the Focal number 7 kit in the front.
Whoa.
And we used the big, crossover that they have
Yeah.
with all the knobs on it that we like molded into the frunk, and we used all like the Focal symmetric amplifiers. And
I think I've seen that build.
yeah, it's an old one, but it's still like it still looks like correct with the car. It doesn't seem like it's aged, but man,
What year was that?
it was
Matty?
probably like 2007, 2008 too. But yeah, just the evolution and tuning. We had a bit 1 in that, and man, if I went back and listened to probably what that car sounded like, I'd probably want to vomit. Like the sub sounded
definitely.
good, but from like probably the sound stage and the actual legitimate tuning portion of it, probably
Yeah.
awful. Probably so bad.
Yeah. But I mean, that's how we all started, right?
Yeah, kind of like you said though, like that. Once you do a vehicle like that to that tier, then you're appealing to that higher end market, right? So you get another guy with
Definitely.
a similar car who wants to do the same type of system, and now all of a sudden you start creating this niche for yourself, being this high end installer who executes at like this very high level. Because when I look at other people that do what we kind of do in the world, like when we were thinking about people who to choose to be on this podcast, like you're probably the first person that came to mind, because I
I'm
see
very
like
honored.
very
honored.
all of the higher end type of stuff that you do, your presence on social media. You've been around for, as long as I've been on like social media. And I just see it's like that tier of quality product, cars, clientele. I think you have a much larger presence now on like, you do YouTube, right?
Yeah, we try to do that, but every time the channel gets slightly bigger because of one certain client I work for, everything gets cancelled a lot.
Oh, got it.
Ah,
Got it.
So, like 1 month ago, we started one YouTube Shorts channel, just with nice shorts and stuff and things. One of my friends was helping me with that, and it got cancelled in 3 weeks. Just showing, especially one particular car.
was there a certain either car system or like social media post that you feel really was like a transition time for you, where you really took that level up?
Yeah, I mean, to be honest, I think I had several of those. In terms of like when I got the first Ferrari 458, which was flown in from Dubai to Amsterdam, that was in 2012. That was already something very big, and I remember because when the car was on the flight, I contacted one of the car news sites called Autoblog, and I send them an email like, "Hey, I'm Brian. I'm doing sound systems. I think I have something very nice for you. There's a Ferrari on his way on the plane. Blah blah blah. The whole story." No response at all. Zero. Okay. I finished the car. We send it back. Whatever. Then the same client sent me two cars, one 458 Spider and one FF. But it was now sent by sea instead of plane, so it took like 4 weeks. So I sent them another email. I said, "Listen, there's 2 more cars coming from Dubai. I think it could be nice for you as an article. We are doing this, whatever, blah blah blah." No response at all. When I had the 2 cars in my shop, I sent them a picture, like, "Okay, the cars are here, Dubai plates, you know." And then the guy, the chief or whatever, he called me. He said, "Listen, I really have to apologize because I was really thinking you were making something up, right? Because who the hell is sending a Ferrari from Dubai to Netherlands just for a new car stereo?"
Mm-hmm.
I said, "Okay, I can imagine that. I appreciate that. But if you want, you can pass by. I can explain you everything." And then he was like very impressed. And then they made like a huge thing out of it on their side. And then I got approached by other channels as well. So not only car magazines and stuff, but also like the national newspaper and stuff. Because they wanted to make a story like, okay, this guy from the Netherlands, following his passion, now he is like they make it bigger. Like they are catering now to the biggest sheikhs in the world and blah 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 blah. That gave me a very big boost in terms of like marketing wise. And then I got approached by a Dutch television program who are following entrepreneurs basically outside of the Netherlands. They were like following people who were successful outside. And then that was recorded, and then after like 3 or 4 months, it was on television, and that was like the biggest boost, like crazy. I remember the weekend after we went out in Amsterdam, and then people on the street recognizing me. I was like, okay, shit. Hi, how are you? That was crazy.
That's cool.
Yeah, that was like big.
And as that was happening, did that just lead to bigger and bigger jobs coming in? Is that how that
Yeah,
started to grow?
more jobs, bigger jobs, but also, to be honest, also a lot of bullshit, to say it like that. People either with similar cars, but they think they can do a job for something very, very cheap or something, or like people with like. I mean, I don't want to be respectful to anyone, so please don't get me wrong. But I mean, the businesses we are in, all of us, we are not the cheapest in the world, right?
Right.
So you cannot expect to have something very nice for like whatever 1,000 or something. I mean, the budget
Right.
should be bigger, right? So I got a lot of requests from people with like a budget, maybe 300 euros, 400 euros, and they expect to have something crazy or whatever. That's the downside of getting more famous in the, how do I say it nicely? I mean, it's good to have a lot of fame or followers and stuff, but it needs to be in the right, how do you say this? In the right group of people. If you know what I mean. It's better that, let's say, 10 billionaires know about you instead of 100,000 people who
Right.
would never be able to afford it, for example.
Right.
And again, I don't want to sound rude or something in any way, but whatever we are doing, it's not the cheapest.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And when you have, I feel like a lot of us who do a lot of higher end stuff, those people always have multiple vehicles. So, I mean, they're
Yeah,
constant client. They might be one client, but they're keeping that business flowing every year with
yeah,
multiple cars.
definitely. And that's also how I got into villas, penthouses, yachts, for example, because they are the same owners. Um, so yeah, if you can, I mean, I think it's very important to get very close to your clients because you're doing something which is very personal. And then you hang out, you go for a drink, you have dinner, whatever, parties and stuff, and then you're able to do everything.
Yeah.
If they know you, if they trust you, then you can do a lot.
Yeah. So touch on that real quick because probably a lot of the people listening who don't follow you don't know, but you also do like a lot of yachts, stuff like that as
Yeah.
well. So like, I guess when you're designing a car system versus something for a yacht, like how do those two things differentiate? Are there different needs and wants by people? Are you setting a budget and then working within that budget? Like how are you coming up with the different types of designs or systems that you come up with? How does all that work from start to finish?
Yeah, that really depends. I mean, if they come to me, no, like most of the times I've already done one of their cars or maybe already a couple, and then of course I will tell them as well. Hey, listen, I do yachts as well or houses, or if you need anything, we can just talk about it. And most of the times on yachts, they just want to have a party yacht, so it needs to be loud, and it has to work always. So you have to make sure that whatever you are designing, it needs to be like fail-safe, idiot-proof, you know. So
Yeah.
the equipment also you're using on a yacht is completely different than whatever
Yeah.
you're doing in a car, for example. And they don't really care because the amount of money they are spending on the yacht each year is already crazy, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy. So sometimes when you see how much they have to pay for some small things, for example. So if I make a proposal, most of the times I already know them already personally. So then I can just say, whatever. If you want to party there and there, it has to work. You need to have it loud. So this is what we're gonna do.
That's cool. So as you've grown and you've done all of these projects that have kind of escalated in scale, the equipment that you're using has gotten better and better over time, and just keep elevating that. Where do you learn from, right? Like when you're trying to raise that bar each time, like obviously we all look back at our paths and what we've done, and if we look back, like Maddie was saying, you look back 10, 12 years ago and you're like, oh, I can't believe I used to do things this way. And now, when we see you machine a, billet aluminum speaker adapter or something, like how did you go about bringing your level up?
The most things I've learned is because I was spying on you guys. No, but I mean, yeah, that's how it goes. I mean, everybody has a different style and a different approach and something. But I think, especially in this industry, I think we learn a lot from each other. You want to level up. You can see how everyone is doing something. Everyone is leveling up. Everyone is now digital, doing 3D scans and making something in Fusion 360 or something. We could have never imagined this, let's say, 10 years back,
100%.
maybe even 5 years back, So it's easier now, for example, to either whatever collaborate or share things or something, if you have made something for a certain car, I think it's very very normal now to approach someone and say, listen, I want to build the same. Is there anything? Can you sell me the 3D scan you have already made? If I have to make the scan, I have to pay maybe, let's say, 500 or whatever. I would rather give you the 500 instead of paying someone to make a new scan.
Right.
You get my point? So
Yeah.
for certain things, and of course you cannot do it with everyone, of course, but I think in general, it's very good to collaborate and to learn from each other and to see how we can all grow instead of just one person growing.
Now, when you were younger in your career, when you look back to like when you first really got into the industry, was there any people in car audio that you, I don't know, at the time saw stuff they were building and inspired you? Or was it just like...
A lot. I've been following you, for example, a long time, but to be honest, when I just started, the biggest inspirations I had was, it was a guy in Germany. I'm still in touch with him. What was the name of the company?
See, this is going to be a fun question when we have all these international guests to see like who
definitely
followed into
no,
like,
definitely
who inspired
definitely.
their career.
Okay, one of them for sure, simplicity and sound.
Okay.
Joey builds like nice things, very nice things. There were two websites I was always following a lot. There was one in Florida, I can't remember right now, and there was one in Germany. The guy in Germany, they built like fiberglass stuff, back in the day. Like nobody was ever using fiberglass, and they were doing a lot with that. They were building, I think, also the Blaupunkt demo cars and the JBL demo cars. I just can't remember the name at this point. Definitely, but also that company in Florida, because I remember I visited them as well in 2008 when I was in Florida. They had like 2 or 3 branches. One of them was in Orlando.
The only Orlando shop that I know today, as far as like who I know that's mainstream, would be Ultimate Auto.
Ultimate, yes.
Yeah.
Ultimate, exactly.
Yep.
Exactly. Because also, like back in the day, nobody was really posting anything. I mean, there were no social media platforms, and some of the companies they had a website with a photo gallery, where they were showing off their projects. Many of them were not doing that.
Mm-hmm.
So Ultimate back in the day it was called Ultimate Audio, and then they changed it to Ultimate Auto.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Ultimate
I think you're
Audio.
right. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yes, but now the guy's in Germany. Something with whatever. I don't know.
So is there, I'd say today, is there other people who do the same type of tier level work that we do who are in other parts of the country? Like who else would you think would be like a good guest on this show today of people you follow who aren't in the States? Yeah.
I think, again, I'm very bad in names, but when I come up with it, I will share it for sure. But there was these guys in the UK, Pledge, something like that.
Yeah, Peter.
I don't know
Peter
him
from like
personally.
Push Sound. Yeah. I know who you're talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna have him on. I think we're gonna have on Eddie from Cartons in Indonesia. I don't know if you've seen his Instagram. He does a lot of like, again, super high end builds where it looks like they have a lot of attention to detail, and they're in Indonesia.
Yeah, but in Asia, there is some guys who are doing crazy stuff. Sometimes I get very like, how the hell do they come up with this? I mean, I have the same with you as well. But I mean, also this might sound very wrong, but I mean, sometimes we have the impression that maybe in Asia they are, like they might not know everything we know, for example. But I was completely wrong. I also heard a lot that a lot of the super high-end stuff is sold in Asia, like crazy.
For sure. Yeah,
the amount of money they are spending on sound systems is crazy.
Like when you're dealing with people in different parts of Europe, is there different asks from like different demographics, like different areas? Do they want different things?
Generally, no. To be honest, most of the times they will either have seen already something I have been working on, and they want to have the same or maybe slightly different. In general, most of my clients, they want to have it like loud, like crazy loud, and of course they care about sound quality. But I have to teach them a little bit. You get my point? So when I deliver their car, I tell them, look, this is the sound stage and stuff, and this and that, and then they get excited, like, okay, wow. But that was not their first demand, and I mean, in Dubai, I'm not only working for Arabs, because in Dubai there was a lot of people. So I work for Europeans, Americans, everything from everywhere around the world. I just got I think the craziest request from someone in Dubai. I think this is something you would never think of.
Okay.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
But don't cancel me, right? I can't give all the details yet because it's like a bit sensitive client. But anyway, not the other one, but somebody else. But I got a request to, like, one of the most luxurious, one of the most expensive cars sold right now, new car, to install a cassette player.
That's fun.
They want to have cassette player in their cars. And I thought it was a joke, but then after I figured out who he was, I was like, makes sense. I would never expect to do anything like that. Would you ever expect to install a cassette player in your life again? Ever? And especially in a new car, like brand new.
Does this person have like a tape collection, and
I think so.
They want it for the nostalgia?
Yeah, I think so.
That's just their preferred media.
Preferred, I think. Yeah.
Wow.
I mean, it's gonna sound terrible, but yeah. So sometimes the request might be crazy. And also a good thing, I also had something with, I did an FF back in the day, and we used 4 Audison amps. And then one of his friends came. He said, "I want to do the same." I said, "Okay, fine, no problem." He said, "But I want 16 amps." I said, "Why do you want 16 amps? Why? Is there any technical thing behind it or something?" He said, "No, because he's my friend and I just want to annoy him. So I want to put like 16 amps. It's a big car. I don't use the trunk anyway, so put 16 amps." I said, "Okay, but it makes no sense, zero sense. It's a lot of weight, it's a lot of heat. I don't even know where I have to connect the channels to, right? It makes absolutely zero sense. So what I can do is to just make the lights work or something. But it makes no sense at all." So then eventually, instead of using 4 channels, I used 2 channels. So we used 8 amps instead of 4. Again, makes zero sense. But he was very happy.
I've had a customer like that. I had two customers with H1 Hummers back in the day, and the first one did a system, and when his buddy brought his in, he said, "I don't care what we do, it just has to be better than his."
Yeah, yeah. But this is something very difficult, because either you piss him off or you piss the first guy off. Because the first guy would
The first guy
maybe,
can always come back for more. The
yeah,
first guy can always come back for more.
but this depends. If the first guy was like, "Okay, I will give you a budget," then you can fire that back to him, right? But if the first guy didn't give you a budget, like, "Okay, do whatever you want, I want the best," then you can't do the second one even better, right?
Mhm.
Yeah.
It takes me back to the tape deck based system. Are you still doing high end audio around the tape deck? Like, are we putting in some Utopia M's and a tape deck, or is it just specifically focused on putting the tape deck in?
For now, it's just focused on the tape deck. So we have to make something like removing the glove compartment and make something there. They want to have it inside. I said, "I don't think this is a good idea. I would hide it even, behind the glove compartment or something."
I mean, you don't want anybody breaking in and stealing.
Here's a good question. What brands do you deal with most frequently, like car audio brands? And what's like, I'd say, what are the popular brands? Is it all the same brands that we deal with? Are there any brands
I
that we
think
don't?
in general it's the same. I mean, I was working a lot with Gladen, Mosconi,
Mm-hmm.
Audiotech Fisher, of course, Helix,
Mm-hmm.
Brax,
Mm-hmm.
with their speakers, Vocal, Utopia from time to time. The
Mm-hmm.
thing is that, like the new Audiotech Fisher speakers, right?
Mm-hmm.
The Helix speakers.
Yeah.
Those speakers were developed by the distributor of the Benelux, so Belgium, Netherlands, Luxembourg, and that's a very
Mm-hmm.
close friend of mine. So he
Oh,
has
cool.
developed those speakers, and they have a partnership or something with Audiotech Fisher. So in the Netherlands, it's sold under his name, his brand, but the rest of the world, it's all branded Audiotech Fisher.
Are we talking
Um,
about like the i3, i5, i7?
i3, i5, i7, yes,
Okay.
indeed.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm impressed with those speakers.
It's crazy. But
Yeah,
the
they're
thing is
good.
that with the 8-inch subs which they have right now, for example, for a three-way system,
Mm-hmm.
I have the first prototype in my 488. So we were testing, and the first prototypes he had, we put it in my car just to see if it's still. And I mean, it's in the car now for 4 years, and every
Wow.
time I drive it, it goes like on mental level. No, really, and it's still working. Nothing broke. Not the mid range, not the tweakers, nothing. And we were talking about prototypes. So that's crazy. And now it's all sorted and stuff, and they're selling like crazy all around the world. I mean, I think it's one of the best out there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, there's always better in terms of maybe sound quality and something, but if you have to compromise like budget and power rating and also the possibilities to install it, that's also a big thing. I mean, what I
Mm-hmm.
see with you guys, and I love that, like the A pillars and stuff and things. I love it. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
But most of my clients, they don't want to see anything. It has to be
Right.
behind the factory grills, right? So in terms of that, you're very limited. For example, I cannot install a big tweeter or something.
Right.
So those Helix tweeters, which they have the small ones, the 20 millimeters, they're
Hmm.
phenomenal.
Yeah.
I love it a lot.
Yeah. So this season we're doing, like I said, that whole international theme. So we're gonna have Julian on from Audiotech Fisher. We're gonna
Ah,
have the Moscone guys on. We're gonna have the engineers from Focal. Like I said, we need a Japan presence. So it'd be cool if somehow Mr. Gary could get us somebody from Japan. Maybe one of the
We can figure that out.
I have an idea. I don't know if we should broadcast this part. I
that.
have an idea because I've been to the Burmester factory 1 month ago in Germany.
Okay.
And Burmester, they are building like very nice home audio systems, but they have like a very big automotive department. And I know, of course, they are limited like to many things, right? I mean,
Right.
the guy in charge, I met him, a very cool guy, and I think he will be in Netherlands in 2 weeks or something. So we're gonna do whatever. Um, but he is like almost fucked up because he is a crazy guy like us.
Mm-hmm.
He knows exactly what he's doing, but he's limited
Yeah. Yeah.
a lot, right? But I think I don't know if he would be open to do something like this, and if it would be suitable for you guys. But that could be interesting,
I would love that. Yeah. If you could make that connection happen, that'll be really cool because,
of course.
yeah, I think that whenever we talk on this podcast just about OEM audio systems, it's just that. Like they're limited. They have a very specific price point to adhere by, weight to adhere by.
Yeah,
All of these variances are very
yeah,
important. And they can make the car sound as good as those. And again, we know what our reference is, but
of
for the
course,
quality of components that they're using with the amount of weight that they have to use, like they do a great job, right? And
definitely.
like imagine if they had the best equipment that they could use. Like imagine him being able to use whatever equipment he wanted to do with the equipment and measuring devices that he uses for like a home,
Yeah,
or when he does his when he does the prototype stuff for the cars. Like imagine what that would sound like. You know what I'm saying?
definitely. Yeah, and this is a very long process, for example. But I was talking with him. How cool would it be if we would able to build like a limited edition of a certain car? Doesn't matter which car anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Any of the cars they are already doing, and we would build like, for example, Porsche Panamera, some sound whatever edition, 50 units or whatever. If it would be Porsche, it would be 911. But
Mm-hmm.
and to build something together, something crazy, like no limitations in weight and stuff. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, of course, the safety stuff, of course, but in the end, okay, we can proudly say, okay, the car is 100 kilograms heavier. Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
But you will be driving a concert hall.
Yeah.
Again, this is a long shot. I don't think at this point anyone from either Porsche or Burmester would be interested in doing this. But when I was talking to that guy who was doing the car audio, he was like excited, like, yeah, that would be crazy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's weird too because like I feel like a lot of clients that I have when they elect to get certain tiers or types of system, like for instance, I have a client now just bought a brand new 911, has the Burmeister, and we're doing radar and laser in it. And I'm like, hey, do you want to do audio while it's here? And he's like, well, the audio is just like it's amazing. And I'm like, it's really not, right? But
Mhm.
you know, because he purchased that package with the Burmeister in his
Yeah,
head, he's just assuming that it's great when it's not great, right? Obviously, if
exactly.
I put him in a car and had him listen to something in person, he'd realize very quickly it's not. And
Definitely.
when clients are purchasing high-end cars like this, they assume that the audio system is already great because it's Burmeister, but it's not the Burmeister that you find in a home, right? It's
No, exactly.
a lot of the
he
times
doesn't realize that he got the Boxster of audio.
exactly.
No,
So-
but also the thing is that people don't even know what is Burmester. If you ask an average guy, they might say, that's whatever they are doing, like in Porsche, right, and Mercedes. And if you tell them, but they're doing home audio as well, they are surprised.
yeah.
They're like, you're serious? Yeah. That's the main part of the business. Oh wow. So people don't even know that. So it's just a marketing thing. And again, yeah, as you also said, people they already have pain by paying a lot of money already for the best upgrade. So they think this is the best possible in the world. So if a big company makes this system, how in the world can one of our guys figure out any system which is better, right?
Yeah, and
Yeah, that does bring up a good point too with some of the higher end home audio brands kind of licensing their name basically to market audio systems. Like even Levinson systems, you look at some of the Lexus and Toyota stuff and those most of the people that buy those cars have no idea that Levinson amp in its heyday, like a good one, was 10 Gs. Like
Exactly.
they don't realize that, right?
Exactly.
They're like, but I paid $1,800 for this
Yes.
system upgrade, but they don't quite tie it. And I think that's the same boat that Burmester file kind of
Yeah,
falls into,
absolutely.
is that it's not commercial enough, but the people who know, and they're excited about it.
Yeah.
yeah,
Exactly.
and like you said, Gary, it's just like licensing their name, because at the end of the day, you can take a brand new Audi RS6, you can take a Lamborghini Urus, and you can take a Bentley Bentayga. One's going to have a Burmeister systems, one's going to have the B&O system, one's going to have the name system. All of them use the same exact speaker,
Yes.
like the
And the
same
same
exact
amp.
driver. Yeah, same amp, same driver, but it just has
Yeah.
a different signature sound tune, and that's what you're getting as a
Yes.
Burmeister name
Yeah,
B&O system.
and you look at it like all the Harman group of brands, right? Like how many different brands between JBL and Infinity and
Yeah.
Levinson. There's so many brands that will fall under one kind of group, and I think they try to align them with, automobile manufacturers try to align them with their customers.
Yeah.
We tried to have someone I know that tunes the Beats branded systems, right? And because they're owned by Apple, there's like they won't let them come on the podcast just because they're like there's just no benefit in it. Like they're not there's no good outcome for them of sending somebody here. So
No, that's true. But also some things I don't understand at all. I mean, I understand their marketing point of view, and I understand that those big brands are selling like license per car, right? And I think they're making a lot of money, right? If you're talking about a certain amount times 200,000 cars sold, it's a lot of money, right? Would I do that? Never. Would you guys do that? I don't
Never.
think so, but you get my point. But on the other hand, sometimes, like Ferrari, for example, they made the choice of branding their premium sound system JBL Professional. I don't see any connection in the Ferrari and JBL PA speakers. I don't get it.
Right.
It would be making more sense to make something more sophisticated or something like Sonus Faber or whatever.
I agree.
But now with the Puro Sang, they have changed also, so that's also a Burmester system, which makes more sense in my opinion.
What about current projects? So the stuff you're working on now, just supercar after supercar, or how's that stuff going?
Mainly, yeah. So one of my famous clients who we all know who I'm talking about, he keeps on getting cars and stuff, and that's crazy. So in a few weeks, I'm preparing now a few cars, preparing some parts, and then I'm gonna fly back to Dubai to do some of the cars he has there, like the 812 Competizione. We are talking now to do the Pagani Huayra BC.
Cool.
That's very cool, very cool. But the thing is, like, he loves the limited edition cars, right? So the Pagani is already like super rare. And let's say in a normal Huayra, there is this system available from Sonus Faber with the back speakers and the subwoofer between the seats. But with the BC, that's a lightweight version, they only have the front speakers. Basically, we have to create something which is not exactly the same, but similar to the Sonus Faber system to make it sound better. But that will be a project which will take a lot of time, just dismantling the car, making 3D scans, designing things, put the car aside, working on something else, and then coming back to that.
How much time do you put into one of those projects? Is it weeks? Is it months?
For the Pagani, I think it will be maybe 2 months or something. I have no clue. I mean, for this car, there was no limit in budget or time or anything. So I can really take my time and make something nice. Let's say if I do a car for the first time, generally it takes a month, from start to finish. But if I have done a car already, so I have already all the drawings and stuff, and you can make the wiring looms in advance and something, then it can be like in 10 days. Sometimes faster, like, a Porsche 911, for example, it's a very nice car to work on. It's not a very difficult car to
Yeah,
work
it's
on,
very easy. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that you can do it easily in 5 working days.
Yeah. Now, do you have some sort of a shop setup that you can use in Dubai?
We are making that because like 2 years ago we moved the whole shop from Netherlands to Dubai.
Okay.
But when we just moved, I was working more on yachts and villas. So I didn't put everything in my own shop. So I'm using my friend's shop now, which is very big. And they're actually building custom racing sims in Dubai. So they have everything, all the CNCs, the printers, whatever you want, they have it there. So I can work on my car there, on the client's cars there. Now we are talking about certain things because one of my friends, he wants to open up a big shop in Dubai, trading cars, but putting like a barber shop and a coffee shop, all these things like a hangout place. And he asked me if I want to be involved in that. So I can just put the cars there, we'll work on the cars. Something. But that will be
Sounds
something for the end of this year, probably. But anytime you guys want to come over to Dubai or to Netherlands, you're more than welcome. I don't even need the shop to have you over.
I don't get out much. Matt, you're finally free to travel. So
Yeah, I'd go.
You're more than
Yeah.
welcome.
Yeah.
More than welcome.
Yeah, Dubai's on my bucket list. Netherlands is on my bucket list.
So we make one trip. You come to the Netherlands first, and then we fly to Dubai together.
What's the flight time from Netherlands to Dubai?
From Netherlands to Dubai, 6.5 hours.
it's not too bad.
No. And if we book Emirates business class, then we can stand at the bar the whole flight.
We might be working on 2 separate budgets, my friend. I'll be back in coach.
I'll be flying with the bags.
So do you have any cars that you've done that you would say is like your Mona Lisa, that you're just like, at this moment, that's probably the most work or the best execution that I've ever put on a car? And if so, can anyone look it up, and how do they look it up? Who's listening?
Yeah. I think, for this, I have to say the Bugatti Chiron.
Okay.
It was not like the most amount of work because you cannot really do a lot of things in the car, because the car is very, very small on the inside.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But doing that car and dismantling it, I mean, in any other car, I could call someone who has maybe already worked on it and say, hey, listen, how to remove the door panel or stuff, or. But on this car, there is no information at all. And knowing that it's a quite expensive car, I mean, that was like stressful from the beginning. And also I knew that this car would have such a big impact on social media. That was like crazy. Yeah, crazy. I recently did a car of one of his friends. He gave the sound system as a gift. That was the Pontiac GTO, like
Okay.
a classic
Uh-huh.
67 Pontiac. And
Uh-huh.
I met this guy in Spain, and we had a great time for a couple of days. We went out and stuff, and I figured out that he was a bass guitar player. So that's why we made the trunk, without any visible audio components. Everything was hidden, but we made the bass guitar in the trunk, like with a lift, something super simple. I mean, for us guys, it's not
Mm-hmm.
rocket science or whatever. But when he came to see the car, he had like goosebumps, the biggest goosebumps
Mm-hmm.
I've ever seen,
Mm-hmm.
because he was not expecting anything. He was just expecting like maybe a sub in the trunk and maybe some speakers and stuff. But yeah, that was nice to think about, to develop it, to build it, to make it actually work. Yeah,
That's cool.
that's crazy. That's nice. I mean, sometimes we don't understand how much impact our ideas could have, with some
Mm-hmm.
clients. I mean, if we would build something, the three of us, we would. I mean, we are talking the same language, so without a lot of explanation, if you look at the panel, we would all think about the same. Hey, we can do this, we can do that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And we make it, we manufacture it, wrap it, put it in the car, and then we continue. But for some clients who might have some technical knowledge, they will see how much effort is put in to make
Mm-hmm.
everything right. And then when it sounds amazing, then yeah, they are like flabbergasted.
Have you ever had the opposite of that, where you put a bunch of work into something and you're super proud of it and the customer just doesn't seem
Yep.
impressed? Or you were super happy with the sound and they get in and they're used to listening to something that's subpar and like a blurry sound stage, and they get in and they don't like the focus of it or
Mm-hmm.
something like that. Do you have any of
Oh,
those where you're
definitely,
just like
definitely,
quietly laughing behind you? You're like, I
definitely.
can't believe this guy doesn't appreciate
No,
this.
definitely. I had this thing. There's a Dutch car brand. It's called Donkerford, and they built like you remember those what is it called, Caterham or Lotus Super 7, these kind of cars. It's like
Mm.
a go-kart basically.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
there's a 2-liter engine. It's super light, 2 seats. I mean, if you just look for Donkerford, you will know exactly what I mean. So there is no space in the car, zero, 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 zero. And then what we did, we made panels next to the feet, and we installed those shallow Morel speakers, right,
Mm-hmm.
in the sides. Besides of that, there is nothing possible at all. There is absolutely nothing possible. In the trunk, we could not do anything because the roof, you can take it off. It's like a cloth
Mm-hmm.
roof, and you can fold it in this shitty
Yeah.
small trunk and whatever. So there was no space for a sub, nothing at all, zero.
Yeah.
So just
Uh-huh.
those two speakers. So I made like a proper baffle to install it, and it sounded okay, right? And then the guy came, he was like, it sounds like shit. I said, yeah, but I mean, there is nothing possible, right? I mean, absolutely zero possible. He said, no, but you can put subwoofers under the seat. I was like, how? You cannot lose your credit card under the seat.
Yeah.
There is no space.
You can't lose your
Zero.
credit card under the
I
seat.
said, how can you put a subwoofer under the seat? And then he got very arrogant. He was like, you're the expert. Like, yeah, that's why I'm telling you, this is the best possible. There is nothing possible. Or I have to cut the entire car in half and make it wider. But there is no
Yeah.
space. How the hell? He was like, no, I'm not paying for this, blah, blah. I said, okay, no, fine. It's okay. I will just take it out, and please don't bother me anymore.
By the way, nothing against those Morel speakers, because the speakers in the right application do sound really good
Yeah.
for an amazingly thin
I mean,
speaker.
I was proud. I was like, wow, this is not so bad. I mean,
Yeah,
considering everything, right?
Yeah, I think
No,
that's
but
that's the one thing that a lot of clients don't understand, is that every car is going to have different challenges. You can't install the same equipment in every car. You can't just make it happen, obviously, because, I would say most people who do the type of work, the style that we do, we still try and keep everything functional, practical, serviceable. Like, that's the most important things. And again, on the last podcast Gary and I did, He's like, what's the most subs you've ever done in a trunk? And I said, I don't know, 3. Because like, even in an Escalade,
I didn't say trunk. I did not specify trunk. I said any installation. What's the most subwoofers you've ever put
And it was
in?
like 3 because I always still keep the car practical, right?
Yes.
Yes. I'm never going to be the guy who does 15 subs in a car or 4 15s or 4. Like, that's just not my style. So like any car that comes, like we're about to do a Ferrari Portofino in a few months. It's getting delivered from the dealer, and he wants to do a high-end system, but at the end of the day, you can only do what the car is going to allow you to do, right? I can't make it this unbelievable system where we're doing 6 Brax amplifiers, because you don't have the space to put 6 Brax amplifiers, right? So in that case,
mental note,
I'm
buying Matt a pack of air saw blades for Christmas.
Angle grinder.
Yeah. Yeah, so like every car is going to have its own challenge. And like you said about that one car, unfortunately, if you want to keep it practical, if you don't want to give anything up like the storage in his trunk for his top, unfortunately, that's the best that you are going to be able to practically make that car sound, right? And even though his expectations might be better, at the end of the day, you're the expert, and there's only so much you can do in this specific car. And even if you use the same equipment, I've used this demo a few times because we have a Tesla Model 3 shop car that has 2 Focal Utopia 10s. It has Focal Utopia 3-way front, 8 mid tweet, Mosconi Pro 430, 210, 2 110s for each sub. So a lot of equipment, but it's in a small sedan. You take that same equipment and you put it in a big SUV, it's going to sound completely different, right?
Of course.
You take a sub enclosure, even though I'm so proud of how the subs translate in the Tesla Model 3, because they do truly anchor in the front, even though you have the seat.
Yeah.
It plays deep, it plays low. You don't hear panel rattle, which obviously relieving all that pressure in the trunk, any sedan, is key when you're trying to do subs in like a BMW, for instance, where it's so sealed to have as much air movement as possible. So you can get that transfer function. But you do everything in like the same system in a Urus or a Bentayga, it's going to sound so much better because you're sitting further away from the dash. The inside of the car is wider. The soundstage is going to become much larger. The subs are going to load better in something like that because there's nothing closed off from that air moving into the front. So I think a lot of people also don't realize how things can sound different in different cars. And you having the reference and being like the professional, I know pretty much how the best I've ever heard in each size car has sounded, right? Because you can only make a small 2-seater like a Ferrari or something that's only going to sound so good. But you take the same system and put it in a big SUV, it's going to sound way better, right?
Definitely.
Well, yeah, and speaker placement is a huge differentiator there. And a lot of those cars, you're dealing with a 6 or an 8 and a tweeter, and then you're trying to bridge the gap from an 8-inch driver that's rolling off up high really fast, and then you're trying to mate it to a tiny tweeter. It'd be one thing if you had an 8 and a big tweeter, but when you're going 8 to a tiny tweeter, it's
sometimes you're so limited. Like Lamborghini, I have to do a Revuelto soon. You can fit with a lot of tricks and stuff. You can fit an 8-inch and a tweeter, and that's it. So there will be a huge gap between the 8-inch and the tweeter. But if you use the 6.5, the gap will be smaller, but there is much less bass, for example. So which way to go?
Lots of trade-offs.
Let's say you just built a very high-end sound quality install. I feel like we ask a lot of people this question. What are some of your like go-to tracks that like the first 3 that you rip through to determine how a system sounds?
One of the first would be Dire Straits, and then the whole album, and not just one song, the whole album, Brother in Arms.
While you're checking through that, are you Are you I put on the album and I listen all the way through? Are you I listen to a song all the way through? Are
No.
you I listen to my favorite 20 seconds of each song
Yes.
and then go to the next
Yes,
one?
yes, the whole album, but maximum 20 to 30 seconds.
Gotcha.
Yes, okay. One of them is Guns N' Roses Patience, but this is what is it called? It's on the special edition of Appetite for Destruction, which is an a cappella one.
Oh,
Okay.
That's a very nice one. I can share you the playlist if you want. Title is what I'm using.
We always ask every guest for like a song or two, and then we add it to the old fashioned playlist on Spotify.
The live version, that's a very good one. There is one song from a girl called Maria Mena. The
Yep.
track is I Was Made for Loving You.
I definitely have that.
I think more people are using that. Walk a Mile in My Shoes live, Big Daddy Wilson.
Cool.
Yeah.
We'll steal a couple of those and throw them on our playlist and give you credit.
Yeah, definitely. How about you? What's your favorite demo song?
Matt, you want to go first, or
You go first. I'll look mine up.
I was gonna say, like, the first song that always hits for me is Christy Barron, "Ain't No Sunshine," her version of "Ain't No Sunshine," and then Sarah Kay, "I Can't Stand the Rain," and then the third track I go to is Linda Gray. Sorry seems to be the hardest way. Hard to say. It's hardest way. Word. Man, I can't even remember the name of the song, but yeah, that's the three that start off every install I do, and with those three, I usually like have a good feel for things.
Mm-hmm.
What we're doing right, what we're doing wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I go through so much stuff. I'd say one I use a lot is going to be Fleetwood Mac, Little Lies, but it's the extended version. The extended version is so good because it's very dynamic. There's a lot going on. I use Make Us Stronger by Ghost Rider. I feel like that's going to be a good one to see how, your utter dynamics of what the capabilities are of the system.
Is that the one we added to the group playlist?
I think so. On that one, you just got to put the bass
awesome.
like literally all the way down, the sub all the way down, just because there's so much there. I use Jacob Collier in My Room. That's a fun one. So that dude, he got famous on YouTube, I think, is where he first became famous, and then he won a few Grammys for just mixing. So he would like in his room mix all this music and add everything in channels. So like his big thing is just how the music is mixed. So anything you listen to of his is going to be very detail oriented, where things are moving from left to right, which obviously can translate on a soundstage. I like most of Ben Harper's album, Fight for Your Mind. I don't know if you've heard of Ben Harper, but Fight for Your Mind by Ben Harper.
No, I will look
There's
it
a
up
lot
now.
of great song on there. One's called Gold to Me, one's People Lead. Yeah.
Is it Ben Harper and the Innocent
Going to be
Criminals?
Fight for Your Mind. That's going to be the album.
Okay.
That whole album, if you listen to that, it's incredible.
Okay.
It's probably one of the best recorded albums that I've listened to.
Okay, cool.
But yeah, I've run through so many different tracks. I feel like when I do rap and hip hop, I'll use Kendrick Lamar Count Me Out, because that translates awesome on a really good sound system. It plays super little. It'll show you how low the bass plays.
Yeah.
There's a lot of left to right happening in the song. The bass notes will actually have like heights. They'll change in heights depending on the frequency, and it'll stay like at a perfect height on a frequency, and it just moves all over the place. I think a lot of people are very impressed when they hear that on a good car.
For the bass, I like to use Turn Down for What from DJ Snake.
Yeah, that's fun.
I have a whole list I've been just adding songs to based off of suggestions that I plan on using it MasterTech this year for demos.
It's fun.
Oh, yeah?
So I'm excited to put Matt in a car. Matt and I don't get to hear each other's cars. We're on the other side of the country, so it's not often we
always
get to hear
difficult.
each other's cars. So
And it's also tough too because like whenever I try and I asked Nalika from Orca, he's our Focal rep here. I was like, let's get our Tesla Model 3 there, and he's like, dude, it's just so much to ship a car across the country for an event like that, you know, because he'd pay $6,000 probably to get it there, minimum.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah, it's
how
like
about you just fly Mario out?
$3,500 each way. Can you imagine
fly
driving a
Mario
car
out.
across the country?
I've done it.
That would be a nightmare.
We drove home from DB Drag Finals one year from Nashville to California, not quite as far, but we're towing a car, and we only shut it off to put gas in it. 2 drivers,
But
straight through, day and a half.
do you realize people like me, foreigners, tourists, they come to the US and they pay for having this trip, right? Doing the
Right.
Route 66 or something, right?
Right. That's what we need. We need somebody who will pay you to drive the car across the country, Matt. It's even better.
Yes.
Get an experience.
It would cost
with a
more
great
than
audio
it would cost
system.
more than $6,000 for me
Yes.
to drive a car across country. So that I don't think
well,
that'll
in
ever
lost
work.
revenue, yeah.
So
Yeah.
have you been to the States, Brian?
said
I've been
Florida.
there, Florida, in 2008. I was there when Obama got elected.
Okay.
But that was Florida. So we went to Miami, Orlando, Key West.
Mm-hmm.
These things. I'm trying to. I don't think this year would be feasible, but next year for sure I want to visit. I want to see so many things in the States.
Yeah.
You should come during MasterTech one year.
Oh, that would be nice. When is it exactly? In
That'd be
which month?
March.
March.
Yep.
Yeah. For now, this year it would be too tight, but for next year, for sure, I will be happy to come. Definitely.
Yeah, it's definitely a fun
Definitely.
event.
Yeah, I see everything on the socials about it, but I want to be there. It would be also cool to meet some guys in person, you know.
Well, that's
People who have been following each other for 20 plus years.
I mean, that's where a lot of the guys end up for that week. So
Mm-hmm.
it'd be a good way to do it.
Yeah, definitely. Would be fun.
And then you could hop in Matt's Model 3 and drive it back across the country. See, we got this.
I would be
plan.
happy to do that.
2026 MasterTech. Here we go.
What's your personal vehicle? And do you have a system in your personal vehicle?
Yeah, in Dubai, I'm driving the 488 with Moscone amps, Moscone DSP, gel audio sub, and then I have these pre-prototypes of the Audio-Tech Fisher
Helix.
speakers,
Yeah.
the Helix. Yeah,
That's cool.
Matt's been talking about getting a new car, and so in the last episode we started talking about it, and on social media we're having people guess what he's going to get, and nobody guessed a 488.
No one. Not one person.
No one.
But the only person that guessed that I saw of a physical guess
No
was-
clues. No clues. No clues.
was either hot or cold, and I can't answer that.
Mario thinks you're getting another Subaru.
You're Mario?
Yeah.
No chance.
So when will be the big date?
When I can find it in my price point in the color package with all the things that I want with it. So it might be next year at this time. Who knows?
Mhm.
We can hunt it down before then.
But are you so specific with getting your car? Which I understand, don't get me wrong, but
I haven't had a decent car in 20 years, at least. I've been driving around a 2008 Subaru Tribeca. At this point, it has 215,000 miles on it. It has a massive dent in the front fender from where my ex-wife hit a trash can. And then at that point, she decided she didn't want to drive it anymore. So she got a new car. It leaks oil all over the ground.
So the
air
dent is,
conditioning doesn't work.
the dent is that's because she became your ex-wife.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
The start of the
So,
downfall.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've been driving around a shit wagon for a long time. Last cool car I had was
A minivan?
let's see. No, it was a 2003 Ford Lightning that had like 1,000 horsepower, had a really cool system in it.
Oh, well, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
it was all. It was
That's
a
cool.
fun car. It was a fun car,
That
but
is
I
very
had to
cool.
sell it because I drove an hour and a half away from work in
Mm.
2008. So it got like 7 miles to the gallon. Had to take premium because it was like running 20 pounds of boost.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
yeah,
And back
Had
then
to
that
sell
was
that
probably
thing.
like half
Oh,
the
it's
price
so much.
gas is now,
Yeah.
and it was
Yeah.
still too much.
yeah.
I mean, in my case, I was, of course, thinking about which car I should buy, especially to buy for this market. And getting the 488 was the smartest thing for me to do ever for the business. Because getting the car got me also into the community a lot more,
Mhm.
Mm-hmm.
right? So I got into the supercar clubs and stuff, and attending all the drives and the weekends and whatever. And I mean, when I'm in Dubai, almost every weekend there is something up, like. And always you meet new people and hey, what are you doing? Ah, you're the audio guy. Yeah. And I have my car with me. I said, okay, let me show you.
Mm-hmm.
So marketing wise, that was the best thing. I mean, whatever I paid for the car, I already got it back multiple times.
Yeah.
If I didn't have that car, then for sure,
Yeah.
it would not go, it would never be at the level I am right now. Definitely. But people also take you, people take you more serious
Seriously.
as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah. It goes a long way when you can put them in the high-end car with the high-end finishes, and they can see your car that's been changed, and it still looks the same or better, right? And
Yes.
obviously sounds better. So I mean, it takes away any of those worries that they would have that it's a high-end car. Because again, there's a lot of high-end people like who have cars like that don't want to change it just because it's a high-end car, not understanding
exactly.
that it can be changed.
For me, this was very important.
Were you scared to do it? Were you scared to take that jump, or was it like you were set on it?
Of course. No, of course. I was scared. I was like, thinking, what should I do and whatever. And then I was like, to be honest, because I got a very, very good deal at the car. So I already knew that if I would own it for 1 year and sell it, I would sell it for like whatever I've paid for plus some extra. So I would drive the car definitely for 1 year for free, considering the insurance and stuff,
Right.
everything.
Mhm.
Because at that point, it was 2020, it was like the ending of COVID, people had to wait for 3 years for a new car. So the value of those cars, the 488 and the F8, they were going slightly up, not massively, but slightly. So, and at that point, it was like, okay, now it's popular. If I would have bought a Lamborghini or a McLaren, for example, the price would go down a lot.
Right.
Mhm.
And again, I got a very, very good deal on the car. And even today, if I want to sell it now, I can still get my own money, what I have paid for.
That's awesome.
Mhm.
Because the price went up and now it's going down, because the availability of cars is higher. It's all about question and demand. So I was very extremely lucky when I got the car.
Speaking about COVID, would you say that you got busier during COVID? Because I feel like for me personally, because I'd say the people who had the money to spend, the higher end clients, they couldn't travel anymore. So they had this whole amount of income that they were used to spending that they couldn't spend. So I saw a massive peak in people trying to get cars done during that time just because they they needed to spend their money somehow.
Exactly. The best clients are wealthy clients who get bored.
Yeah.
And during COVID, they all got bored.
Yeah.
So they wanted to do something exciting, with their cars or stuff. So yeah, I think it was not that bad. Now, hopefully, we will never have to go through that again.
Do you have another car that you would want? Like if you got rid of the Ferrari, like what would be next? Do you have a vision for that, or?
I have a list of 500,000 cars.
That's awesome. Okay.
Yeah, no, I mean there are so many nice cars, and I don't know. For now, I'm still very happy with the car. If it would be possible, I would never sell it. Hopefully, but you never know what will happen next, right? Would I be interested in getting more like supercars or stuff? I don't really think so. But I like so many cars.
That's awesome, Matt. I feel like this is funny. Like Matt and Jeremy Carlson are both like not like obsessed with the cars themselves. Like they love doing the audio. Matt's more of a car guy than Jeremy is, but Jeremy like is just like, I have my BMW. He has a badass BMW, but like he doesn't want to like build a hot rod or anything like that.
Yeah, I don't
feel
either.
like Matt's in the same boat. Like,
yeah, I feel like if I won the lottery, obviously I'd build a cool house. I'd probably do mostly house projects by myself where I'm doing the projects. I'd probably build an awesome home system and a lot of automation. I think at some point, once I got bored with all of that, I might build something for myself. But I feel like the car that I'm going to get when I end up doing the audio system, I feel like I just owe it to myself. Like it's not like burning a hole in me to be like, I need to build a system like I typically do for clients. But what I'm telling myself is I owe it to myself to do that for myself, to have it, even if it's just for demo purposes, but just to have it, because I deserve to have something like that, because I've never had something like that until 2005 for the most part, you know?
right.
Yeah.
But I'm not a car guy. Like cars don't move me. Like when people talk about certain cars, they don't move me. When I get we have a 2025 GT3 RS in the shop right now that's beautiful. It's like
I saw it.
One of the first delivered, 2025s. It's beautiful, but at the end of the day, I'm not like, oh man, like just like galling over the car, because like I've seen so many high-end cars where it just doesn't give me that allure, that shock value. I'm sure, especially for you, it's going to Dubai and seeing how grand and detailed and just how much execution is in that place. It's probably hard to go anywhere and be wowed. Like if you went to Vegas for the first time, because I don't think you said you've ever been to Vegas. Like if you go to Vegas, you'd be very unimpressed, I'm sure, after being in Dubai, I would assume.
No, I understand what you mean, but I would still be impressed, because it's something special. I mean, Dubai is also, there is many nice things, and there's many nice things, coming every day almost, and also with the cars. I mean, come on, even if you're married to Miss Universe, you would still look around, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So with cars, it's the same thing. Of course, I can see a lot of nice cars, extreme hypercars and stuff with my clients' collections or friends or something. But still, every time you see any nice car, it excites you.
Mm-hmm.
One of my dreams one day, if I don't know, whatever, retiring or whatever, one of my dreams would be to buy a 79 Corvette from my year and to restore it from scratch.
That's cool.
Like complete build, everything by myself. I've never rebuilt an engine in my life, but I'm sure I
can figure it out.
I will do that.
Yep.
Yeah. If it runs, we're very happy. If it doesn't run, okay, fuck it. But that's also one of my dreams.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
You have to have dreams.
Is there anything you didn't talk about that you would want to talk about or want people to know? And man, an hour and a half goes by quick, huh?
Yeah.
It's unbelievable. It's crazy.
So how can people listening follow you? Like what social medias do you deal with? What are your handles on each media so people can follow along?
Yeah, so mostly Instagram, Brian's Custom Audio _DXB. DXB is the airport code for Dubai. That's mainly. I mean, you can try to look me up on YouTube, but that sometimes I'm there, sometimes it gets cancelled. I don't know why. TikTok, I gave up completely. We had like some videos with 8 to 10 million views, but yeah, again, they don't like me, or they don't like my clients. So
yeah.
that's that's how it goes sometimes. But no, I don't know. I mean, from the outside things look different than how they are actually. I'm very blessed, very happy with everything I've done and all the people I have met, and also the inspirations those people gave me. I mean, if you get to work with, let's say, nicer cars, then of course the owners of those cars are more wealthy and more successful.
Hmm.
And if you get closer to them, you will learn a lot from them as well.
Of
How
course,
to
yeah.
network, how to do
Mhm.
business, and how to think about things in life, for example. And I'm not saying everyone is right, but it got me a lot of inspiration and stuff. One of my clients, one of the first times I came to Dubai, he arranged everything for me, and he bought me a business class ticket. Right, that's how I found out that there's a bar, and I was very impressed and very 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 excited and very very blessed. So when I reached Dubai, he picked me up, and I said, "Oh, thank you so much." It. I would have been happy with the economy ticket for I'm not a big guy to fly business or whatever.
Mhm.
He said no, but you know what? This is a lesson. What do you mean lesson? He said, okay. I made you the business class experience, right? So next time you fly economy, you feel shit. I said, yeah. He said, okay. So you just want to work harder and you want to be more successful to fly business more. And at that time, I said, well, you're such an idiot.
Mhm.
But after a few years, I realized what he was saying. So he was pushing me
Yeah.
to work harder and to be more successful. And that's besides the jobs I'm doing, and of course, the nice projects and things and stuff. I've learned so much in life, in doing business, in growing the network. That made me realize so many things.
Mhm.
That's yeah, that's something I enjoy a lot.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's awesome. Well, thank you.
Definitely.
Thank you for spending time with us. Our
Thank you, guys.
first stop on our international tour this year.
Yeah.
I'm super blessed. I'm really really excited, and again, anything you guys need from my side, I'm here. Um, let's stay in touch, definitely, and maybe someday we can do a project together.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
Sounds amazing.
Yeah. And it's going to be cool now, looking at your stuff that you do currently and in the future, looking at it with a different perspective since we've had this conversation. You know what I'm saying? So that's going to be the funnest
Definitely.
part with all of this, because now there's
Yes.
perspective to seeing the stuff you post.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's going to be fun.
Likewise.
It's
Likewise.
Awesome. Well, thanks again for coming on, and
Thank you, guys.
until next time.
Stay safe. Definitely. Thank you, guys. Thank you.
Yep.